the final location of the game is the Hedwig Church. We just got a message indicating that the victim was supposed to meet someone here the night the victim was murdered. So let's check the back part of the church. They would have met somewhere over here. Here!
Maybe Harold dropped his phone here, if he was standing here waiting.
Excellent. So we have the victim's phone. And one of the victim's passcodes was 1173. Let's check this out. So 1173. I'll be waiting for you. Stay safe. Walk through the alley and over the bridge. That way no one will see you. Maybe we can travel for the money. Iris. Oh, Iris knew about his meeting. The meeting where he died. And then the code to Iris's apartment, 3395. I don't know. Did Iris kill him, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, here inside the church, we can explore a little bit. It's a church. Cool. Stained glass window of St. Paul. Very nice. There's a room over here to the side. Here. So we want this item.
I have to return it later. I'd hate to steal from a church.
Yeah, it'd probably be a bad idea. Let's not steal from a church. Let's return this item later. So we definitely needed that in order to reach the high up area in the victim's apartment. So let's see, where is it? The stairs, okay. Go up the stairs. Go forward here. We've been here a few times already. So let's see, where's the mechanism? Do I have to use the handle here again? No, I do not. I already used the handle here. So I use the handle to turn it on. So now I can go forward and left. And here we go. What is here?
Yes.
It's a letter for my favorite flower waterer. Aw, Iris gave him a key. A key to her apartment. Okay. So, oh, and here's a letter. Harold, this letter is to be given to you on your 20th birthday. I wish more than anything I've ever wished that this letter will find you fit and well. I have blackened the family name completely, and you bear the burden of that. Here's an explanation. I've never even met Gustav V. See, in my younger days, Evald Zodel and I were good friends. We were so close, he told me about his passionate love affair with the Swedish king, Gustav V. I just finished school. I didn't have a job, while Evald was fruitlessly looking for any way to finance his political/spiritual career. During endless nights saturated with rum and cheap brandy, we made up an ingenious plan. Evald's political views and moral standings made exposure of his romantic connections with the king unthinkable. I, on the other hand, had nothing to lose. Evald fed me all the necessary details to make my story believable. We solved our consciences by convincing ourselves the actual story was true after all. It's just related by me instead of Evald. Besides, the royal court was given the option to discredit us by simply telling the truth instead. It wasn't long before Evald wanted to pull out of the whole affair. He felt that it was getting too large, and in any case, he didn't really need the money anymore. But I had made myself economically dependent upon the deception. And, my dear son, as they say, the rest of the story is history, and in the textbooks. I want you to know that I love you and your mother more than anything else, and that I'm very sorry for what I've done. Enclosed is a picture of me and Evald Zodel, your father, Kurt. So that must have been that must have been written shortly before he died. And whoa, wait a minute. Does that guy look familiar at all? Maybe he does. And even if he doesn't, you could recognize him. Mr. Zodel, right? That must be Mr. Zodel's father. The mustache guy? The mustache guy? So that must be the incriminating letter that mustache guy was talking about. He wanted to get that letter from Harold. Hence all these long messages. Where's that message? Yeah, hence these messages. He was basically willing to do anything to get that letter to prevent the truth from coming out about his father. And I don't think we can meet with him. I don't think he's here. Yeah, so yeah, there's the picture of Mr. Zodel. Just in case you wanted to make doubly sure that was actually him in this picture. It is. Okay, so now let's go to Iris's place.
Now.
Oh yes, I need to give that back to the church. That's definitely something I should do. Yeah. Okay. And she puts it back automatically as soon as you enter the church. That's nice. I kind of wish that had happened earlier on in the game. Like whenever you go into the tunnel where you need the headlamp, I wish that, she had automatically put on the headlamp and you didn't have to scroll through your inventory every time to find the headlamp. Okay, so the passcode was 3395. That's the passcode to here. And her apartment, we have the key. Okay, do we have any evidence in here? What's this? This is an ugly room, very hideous. However, you do have to look in this hideous room because we have a key here. It's in the desk drawer. So that is the item we need to find here in Iris's apartment. We're going to use it in the living room. Right underneath the TV, use your key to unlock this cabinet. It's just alcohol. What's this? I saw you on the night of the murder. Harold left our meeting place behind the church and I watched you sneaking up on him and stabbing him. I won't hesitate to fully cooperate with the police in order to have you arrested and convicted. I will contact you later on to show... Wait a minute. I recognize that handwriting. Yeah, Zodel. So Iris is the murderer and Zodel looks like he was trying to blackmail her.
It's that guy from the Zodel Moral Mission.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, lots of plot twists here at the end of the game. We thought one person was the culprit. It turns out it's another person, and it turns out it's another person entirely.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. Iris is coming. Let's leave out through the back.
To turn the evidence over to the police. I will also give them the full story, as I understand it. Harold had this letter from his father, Kurt Hybe. According to the letter, the old man Zodel was the real lover of Gustav V. Harold contacted the Zodel Moral Mission and demanded money in exchange for the letter. Harold waited for the representative for the Zodel Moral Mission at the agreed meeting place. While putting out a cigarette, he dropped his mobile phone. When the Zodel guy arrived, he explained that he didn't have the money since it had been stolen from the safe. When Harold left the place, empty-handed, Iris waited for him, believing that he had the money on him, as planned. What she didn't know was that the Zodel guy still hadn't left the place and watched her as she searched Harold for the money.
I see. So that was the money which Adrian stole. It was actually some sort of blackmail money.
So, what do we learn from this story? That I don't know. What I do know is that this story began almost 100 years ago, and the exact same thing could happen again today, for the very same reasons. Well, I had a nice Midsummer's Eve after all, even if I nearly forgot about it. And whatever you may say about the last couple of days, they weren't boring. And I got to visit some unusual places. But the adventure has left me completely exhausted, and I think I've earned an extended vacation. And I may even try to get some rest.
believe that's the end of the game. Yes, so I wanted to mention that challenge of leaving the apartment is a time challenge. If you do not leave her apartment through the back door in time, you will be caught and it's a game over. Okay, so at the murder trial, Iris was sentenced to 20 years in prison. She had planned the murder ever since she told Harold about his intentions, or ever since Harold told her that he was going to blackmail Zodel Moral. She's like, hey, you're blackmailing them for money? Great, I'll kill you and steal that money. She was tired of him, and she wanted a lot of money and wanted to live the good life. Iris supported Harold in the blackmailing plans, and she intended to acquire all of the money and get rid of Harold at the same time. What a terrible, terrible girlfriend. Adrian got a hold of his father on Midsummer's Eve, and they spent the evening together with some friends. Adrian is helping Willie set up a new picket fence at the allotment. So yay, they're friends again. He probably apologized for stealing all the money from the Zodel Moral Mission. Probably gave the money back. That's why the money came in a bucket that said collection. It was a collection bucket for the church. So the Moral Mission representative sentenced to 500 hours of community service for his attempt to blackmail Iris. We saw that blackmail letter. So he was rejected by the Salvation Army, and they did not want him to do community service for them. So now he's working at a garbage place. He's a garbage cleaner. Jonas learned Carol had not simply forgotten about their Midsummer's Eve date, but had been tied up in solving a nasty murder mystery. He will spend the next weekend with Carol at his cottage. Aw, well that's nice. Poor Jonas, poor Jonas. I feel bad for him. At least he got to have a cool party with Carol. Okay, so that's basically the end of the game. Everything from here on out is credits. We get to see the credits for the game. It may not surprise you to learn that most of the people who worked on the game are Swedish. That's because this game was made in Sweden, so there are a lot of Swedish names here. What do I think about this game overall? I like the game. I thought it was great. I thought it was an improvement over the previous game. Some of the problems I had with the previous game weren't there in this game. So the navigation in the previous game was kind of tough with the salt tunnels and the Fiskeby station. I got super lost in those areas, not knowing where to turn or where to go. The navigation was much improved in this game, so that's good. I think the only place with confusing navigation was the industrial park, and even then, it was really straightforward, so I'm glad for that. I think another improvement is the storyline. We sort of saw two different stories at once, the disappearance of Adrian and the murder of Harold. I like that, so it was a bigger, more expansive story. I also liked the puzzle where we had to collect the flowers and revisit all the locations in the game. That was nice, because in previous games, there are a lot of locations that you visit once and then you never return to again. So it's kind of nice to see these locations more than once. I like that. But my favorite part about this game was the new hint notebook. That hint system was fantastic. It was great. And also there was a new tutorial for this game. The tutorial was pretty good too. So overall, I'd say I liked this better than the previous game. The year was 2008. That is it for Carol Reed, The Color of Murder. I hope you enjoyed my video walkthrough. Thank you for watching. If you really liked my walkthroughs, check out my other walkthroughs. I've done walkthroughs for a bunch of the Carol Reed games. And also check out the Carol Reed website. Buy some of their games. Support this independent game developer.